Welcome to Deep Techno Elite. I am Deep Malavakode. In the last session, we have learned loops in PHP. We have taken a look at the for loop, while loop, do while loop, and for each loop. In this session, I am going to show you how to create an array in PHP. We will learn types of array in PHP, that is index array, associative array, and multidimensional array. Also, we will take a look at the array functions in PHP. So let's get started by subscribing the channel and hit the bell so you don't miss anything. So what is an array? An array is a type of data structure that allows us to store multiple elements of similar data type under a single variable. The arrays are helpful to create a list of elements of similar type which can be accessed by using their index or key. An array is created using an array function in PHP. There are basically three types of array in PHP. The first one is index or numeric array. The second one is associative array, and the last one is the multidimensional array. So let's see the index or numeric array first. This array can store numbers, strings, and any object, but their index will be represented by numbers. By default, array index start from 0. Let's start the Visual Studio Code, and don't forget to start your XAMPP server. I'm going to create a new file here. Call it as array.php. Let's see the syntax for creating numeric array in PHP. $variable name followed by a square bracket. Inside the square bracket we have n equals to value, end with the semicolon. Here $variable name is the name of the variable, n is the axis index number of the element, and the value is the value assigned to the array element. We can also define array index as $variable name equals to array followed by a parenthesis. Inside the parenthesis, n equals to greater than symbol value, end with the semicolon. There are two ways to create an index array. So let's see the first method to create an array. Let's have a PHP tag here. I'm going to assign a variable $numbers equals to array function, end with the semicolon. This is an empty array, that is, no object inside the array is an empty array. Now let's have some objects. I'm going to have some numbers, say 10, separate by comma, 20, 30, 40, and 50. We can refer them by its position. So let's see how we can retrieve something from an array. We use echo, reference the variable $numbers. Then I am going to use square bracket, and inside the square bracket I am going to have index that we want to return. Let's have 1. It will return what's in the position 1, end with the semicolon. Save this and let's have a look at the output. Type here localhost, change the file name array.php, press enter, and it will return the object on position 1. As we have seen, array index starts from 0, so it will display the object 20 which is on position 1 and object 10 is on position 0. We can also use loop to print all the values of an index array. We can use for loop and for each loop also. Let's see how to use for each loop. Let's have a break here, echo break tag. I am going to use the same array, and now let's have for each followed by a parenthesis. Let's have a variable $numbers as $value, opening and closing curly bracket. I am going to echo the value is $value. And now let's have a break tag here, end with the semicolon. Save this and reload the page, and it will print all the objects of an index array. And now let's see the another method to create an array. Let's have a variable $numbers followed by a square bracket, index 0 equals to, let's have a value 1, end with the semicolon. let's have some more values. Dollar numbers, square bracket, index 1 equals to value 2. Similarly, dollar numbers, square bracket, index 2 equals to value 3, semicolon. And now let's have two more. Square bracket, index 3 equals to value 4, end with the semicolon. And let's have the last one. Dollar numbers, square bracket, index is 4 equals to value that is 5, end with the semicolon. And now let's have for each keyword followed by a parenthesis, let's have a variable dollar numbers as dollar value, opening and closing curly bracket. And now let's have echo, the value is dollar value. Let's have a break tag here, end with the semicolon. Here we have assigned the index manually and then it will print the text containing the array value. So let's save this and let's have a look at the output. Reload the page and it will print all the objects of an index array. And now let's have a look at the associative array. The associative arrays are very similar to numeric array in terms of functionality, but they are different in terms of their index. Associative array will have their index as string so that you can establish a strong association between the key and value. So let's see the syntax for creating associative array in PHP. Dollar variable name, followed by a square bracket. In a single quote, we have a key name equals to value. We can also use the another method, dollar variable name equals to array, followed by a parenthesis. Inside the single quote, we have key name equals to greater than symbol value, end with the semicolon. Here variable name is the name of the variable, key name is the access index number of the element, and value is the value assigned to the array element. Let's have a look at the example. As we have seen, there are two ways to define associative array. So let's define associative array. $age equals to array, followed by a parenthesis. Let's have a name, let's say David, equals to greater than symbol, let's say 22, separate by a comma. Let's have another name, John, equals to and greater than symbol, let's say 28, separate by a comma. And now I am going to have one more name, Deepmala, equals to and greater than symbol, let's say 30, end with the semicolon. And now let's return something, say echo David is, let's have a dot, $age, in a square bracket. I'm going to have David, put the dot here, and now let's have a break tag here, end with the semicolon. Similarly, we can retrieve the another value of array. Let's say echo John is, let's have a dot operator, $age, square bracket, John, put here a dot and a break tag here, end with the semicolon. And now I am going to retrieve Deepmala is dot $age into the square bracket. Let's have a value Deepmala. Let's have a break tag here, end with the semicolon. Save this and let's have a look at the output. Reload the page and it will display the objects of associative array. And now let's see the another way to create an associative array. Let's have a $age, square bracket, and in a single quote, let's have a name David equals to, and now let's have a value, say 35, end with the semicolon. Now let's define $age in a square bracket, John equals to, let's say 30, and the last one $age Deepmala equals to, let's say 40. And now let's retry the value. Echo David is dot $age in a square bracket. Let's have David dot years old. And now let's have a break tag here, end with the semicolon. Similarly, we can return all the values. I'm just going to copy this code and paste here for 2 times. And I'm going to change the name to save our time. And the last one. Save this and let's have a look at the output. Refresh the browser and it will display the output. David is 35 years old. Similarly for the John and Deepmala. With the help of loops, we can easily traverse the elements of a PHP associative array. We can loop through the associative array in 2 ways. First by using a for loop and the second one is by using the for each loop. So let's have an example for each loop. I'm going to use the same array. Simply copy this. And now let's have a for each keyword followed by a parenthesis. And inside the parenthesis, now let's have $age as $k equals to greater than symbol $value, opening and closing curly bracket. And now let's have echo here key dot $k dot value. And now let's have dot $value dot, and I'm going to have a break tag here, end with the semicolon. And now let's see the output. Reload the page and it will display the key and its value in an associative array. And now let's move on to a multidimensional array. We can define multidimensional arrays as array of arrays. As the name suggests, array element in this array can be an array and they can also hold other sub-arrays within values. In multidimensional arrays are accessed using multiple index. PHP support multidimensional arrays that are 2, 3, 4 or more levels deep. For a 2-dimensional array, you need 2 indices to select an element. For a 3-dimensional array, you need 3 indices to select an element. Let's have a look at the example. For 2-dimensional array, we create a 2-dimensional array to store marks of 3 students in 3 subjects. So let's have $marks equals to array followed by a parenthesis. Let's have a name Nick equals to and greater than symbol array followed by a parenthesis. And now let's have a subject physics equals to greater than symbol, let's say 35, separate by a comma. Let's have another subject, let's say maths equals to greater than symbol, let's say 37. And now let's have one more subject, say chemistry equals to and greater than symbol. Separate this array with a comma. Let's have one more student, Ethan equals to greater than symbol array followed by a parenthesis. And now let's have a subject physics equals to and greater than symbol, let's say 38, separate by comma. Let's have one more subject maths equals to greater than symbol, let's have 40, separate by a comma. And the last subject chemistry equals to greater than symbol, let's say 35, separate this array with a comma. And now let's have a last student name, say Deepmala equals to greater than symbol array followed by a parenthesis. And now let's define a subject physics equals to greater than symbol, let's have 37, separate by a comma. Maths equals to greater than symbol, let's say 38, separate by a comma. And the last subject chemistry equals to and greater than symbol, and let's have say 35. And now end with the semicolon. Here we have an array with student's name containing one more array for the marks of each subject. And now I am going to access the value of multidimensional array. Echo marks for Nick in, let's say physics. Let's have a dot $marks in a square bracket. Firstly, let's have a name Nick and in another square bracket I am going to have a subject name physics. Put a dot here, and now let's have a break tag here. End with the semicolon. Save this and let's have a look at the output. And it will display the marks for Nick in physics is 35. Similarly, we can display the marks for each student in each subject. Let me show you one example. Let's have echo. And now let's have marks for, let's say, Ethan in. And now I am going to say another subject. Let's say maths. Put a dot here, dollar, marks. In a square bracket, now let's have a name, Ethan. And another square bracket, I am going to have a subject, maths. And now put a dot here and let's have a break tag here. End with the semicolon. Save this and refresh the browser. And it will display the marks for Ethan in a maths. And now let's go ahead to array functions in PHP. PHP provides various array functions to access and manipulate the elements of an array. Let's see them one by one. I'm going to show you first the count function. PHP count function counts all elements in an array. So let's see the example. Let's have $months equals to array followed by a parenthesis. And now let's have a month, January, separated by a comma. Let's have February. And the last one, March, end with the semicolon. And now let's have a count function, echo count, followed by a parenthesis. And now let's have a variable $month, end with the semicolon. Save this and refresh the browser. And it will count the element of an array, that is 3. Next function is array chunk function. This function splits array into chunks. By using array chunk function, you can divide array into many parts. So let's have an example. Let's have a break here. Print underscore r followed by a parenthesis. And now let's have a array chunk function followed by a parenthesis. And now let's define a variable $months, comma 2, end with the semicolon. It will split the array by 2. Save this and refresh the browser. And here we have array 0 that containing the array 0 January and 1 is February, and it will split the array here index 1 array and its value at index 0 March. Next we have a sort function. PHP sort function sort all the elements in an array in ascending alphabetical order. So let's see the sort function. Here we have sort keyword followed by a parenthesis and a variable $months, end with the semicolon. Let's have a break here first. And now after the sort function, I am going to use for each keyword followed by a parenthesis. And now let's have $months as $value, opening and closing curly bracket. And now let's have echo $value. Let's have a break tag here. Save this and refresh the browser, and it will sort all the elements in an array in ascending alphabetical order. Similarly, we can sort the number array also. So let's have $numbers equals to array followed by a parenthesis. And now let's have a value separated by a comma. I am going to use any value, end with the semicolon. And now let's have a sort function, $numbers. Let's have for each keyword into the bracket $numbers as $value, opening and closing curly bracket. And now let's have echo $value. Let's have a break tag here, end with the semicolon. Save this and refresh the browser, and it will sort the element of a number array in ascending numerical order. Next we have array search function. This function searches the specified value in an array. It returns key if search is successful. Let's have a look at the array search function. $name equals to array. And now let's have a name. Let's say Nick, separated by a comma, John, and last name let's have Deepmala, end with the semicolon, and now let's have $key equals to array search function, and now let's search for the name Nick separated by a comma, and now let's have a variable $name, end with the semicolon. Now let's have echo $key comma, and now I'm going to have a break tag here, end with the semicolon. Save this and refresh the browser, and it will return its key 0. We can also sort an array in descending order by using rsort function. So let's see the example for sort an elements of an name array in descending alphabetical order. Let's have a rsort function followed by a parenthesis, and now let's have $name, end with the semicolon, and now I'm going to have for each into the bracket $name as $value, opening and closing curly bracket, and now let's have echo $value. Let's have a break tag here, end with the semicolon. Save this and refresh the browser, and it will sort the element in descending alphabetical order. Similarly, we can sort the element of the number array in descending numeric order. Let's have the array, copy this and paste here, and now let's have a rsort function followed by a parenthesis, and now let's have $numbers, end with the semicolon, and now I'm going to have for each into the bracket $numbers as $value, opening and closing curly bracket, and now let's echo $value. Let's have a break tag here, end with the semicolon. Save this and refresh the browser, and it will sort the element of a number array in descending numeric order. Well, that's all for today's session. In the next session, we will see some more interesting things in PHP. To learn more, subscribe the channel and hit the bell to receive the notification. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like and comment below. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon.